we were being called, you know, we were being summoned. When we began speaking the language, allowing the language to come to Max, all of a sudden, wheels spinning started happening inside the skull. It started to get activated. We saw, you know, we're going, wow, you know. And so we kept allowing the language more and more, intoning and building the energy with Max. And then all of a sudden, a giant came out of Max. A giant came flying out of Max with such force that my friend was thrown across the room. And I was riveted, frozen to the spot. Every emotion went through me. Fear, you know, wow. I mean, it was the biggest wow. You know, what have we done? You know.
What have we unleashed?
What have we, yeah. And then this presence, I could see it as this huge auric field, you know, with the energy was moving so fast. It was faster than anything that I've ever experienced, you know. The quickening that this giant being had. And then he shot a beam of light from his heart chakra into my heart chakra. And at that moment, I thought surely I was going to burst into flames. You know, I thought, this is it, you know, this is it. And when my body felt like it was just totally going to disintegrate, it was going to just fly apart, then the energy grounded through my body into the earth. And then I began receiving telepathic communication from this being whom I call Tak. And Tak, I found out later through the Keys of Enoch, means Orion in the Tibetan language. And that began this very incredible work. Tak told me that his mission was about remembering our oneness. And in the work, for almost 3 years, I worked all over the United States with people of light, family of light, like all of you. And Tak could show himself only to the degree that people could accept, because many people were afraid, you know. And so he would show that much. There was one point when we were in Boston. There were maybe 150 people there. Everybody started speaking in the same language. And Tak fully emerged from the skull. He drew everybody into the deepest level of tantric oneness and love, of union, of divine union that you could ever imagine. And, you know, what can I say? It was absolutely incredible, you know. The day that my mission with Max completed was the day I received a letter from Hunbats inviting me to Heaven Mystery School. Hunbats, I was literally in tears. I was, you know, it was like, it was time for me to part with the caretaker. I was there in tears, you know, and the mailman brought your letter to me. And it was, you know, may the great Father, Son be with you. And I was just, ah! And so it was the next step of the work. But it was that synchronicity, you know. And being separated, I thought separated from Tak, you know, was like being separated from your cosmic lover. You know, it was very traumatic for me. But later, Tak came back to me when I was able to raise the energy enough with Shamaku. So sometimes we are working with Tak. Sometimes Tak will come. So sometimes we're working with the giants. But by now we're working with many, many energies. And so when we come to a place such as this, if we can open ourselves, and if you know, you might even feel the allowance of the language coming. or the allowance of movements of your body. So, as the light comes in, as we activate and bring in the energy and start connecting the energies from the stone people to the skulls and then to your etheric bodies, and connecting all the grids, which are the pathways of energy. I would really love it if you would allow yourself to become more free, because it's all inside of us. It's all inside of our own memory, and we're here to remember, we're here to reactivate our cosmic memory. And sometimes our bodies need to do things in the waking up. Don't stop it with your mind and with fear, okay? Don't, shut off this one for a while. Some things are beyond the understanding of the brain, of the three-dimensional mind. If we can go into allowing this, like you did yesterday, sister, when you came in the ceremony, and you allowed our interaction, It was very important. It was very beautiful, a dance that not only affected us, but it affects everybody in the group, because we're all one. So as one of us, begins to wake up, it affects all of us, because we're all connected. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit to explain, so that if in my process I look weird, and I'm speaking in a weird language and I'm doing weird movements, and the spirit in me might guide me to come over and, release a blockage in you or something, or, don't be afraid. I've become very free in my process. And I would love it if you would allow yourselves to become very free in your process too, because we're all doing this together. So don't be afraid to open up. Don't be afraid to let sounds come, or whatever wants to come. Please don't be afraid. Okay? So I'm not putting on a show, Not at all. That's not what it's about. And my ego's not involved in this work. I've had to, step away to allow my body to be used, and to allow all my bodies to be used. And so I don't care anymore, it's like whatever needs to come, comes. And I honor Hunbad so much because he honors my process in this. And for several years, when it was so strong for me that I felt like nobody understood, not even my family. Hunbad was the one person on the whole planet that understood and it validated me and my path and my work. And I honor him forever for that. To validate each other is the most beautiful gift that anybody can give another being, is validation. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we really need that. Yeah, and now he has a crystal skull, and is one of the main supporters of the crystal skull work on this planet. And it's very real. It's very real work. And it doesn't matter whether the skull is ancient or old or even newly carved. How much millenniums of time did it take for this crystal to grow to be this size? It's ancient, ancient. And Hunbad has said that when you take a crystal or a mineral and you shape it into the form of a human skull, that it releases the information for us that we can better receive it. This is a living library too. All of the mineral kingdom is a living library. Our bones, the bones are our stones in our body. They're the densest part of our body. And when we allow the energy to go into our very bones, our bone structure, to go that deep, if we can allow ourselves to open up that deep, then we can activate all of that memory. Yeah. So it's a process. And so it is such a total honor to be here with my spiritual family and to support each other in this work. Such an honor.